Morning, everyone. Make sure you have your coffee ready. How's it going? There we go. That's some good shit. Ah. Honk honk. I still have the horn. So, how's everyone doing today? What's going on? No coffee, I have water. R.I.P. You never did change your name, Dragonfat, right? On YouTube? I'm waiting to talk about the Freedom Convoys. It's a still developing story. I want to see what's going on. Yeah, Lilith's not here. Don't worry about that thumbnail. Honk stream. I'll just honk, 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 honk. I wasn't watching the stream when you honked me and I nearly jumped from my seat. Oh yeah, Google Plus. Fucking hell. What a garbage pile that was. Facebook is like one of the worst and honestly most decrepit and most falling apart of the social media platforms. Why does anybody think Google Plus is like, we'll just imitate Facebook? Yeah, okay. Don't worry. I will be doing the COVID. Okay. I have a series planned called COVID Chronicles. We're going to discuss each aspect of the pandemic in a reasonable amount of detail. And I think the first one that I'll do is the trucker convoy. I think that's the plan. Oh. Yeah, RIP Mindspace. MySpace. Damn. So, how's everyone doing? I suppose I should discuss a few things with you, eh? As always, I start off with community news. Community news. First of all, I hope you've noticed that I've been doing more content on the channel lately. Let me just head over to the YouTubes. Let's see now. So, yeah, because I did last week's weekly sip, and then I managed to do 5 between last week's weekly sip and this week's weekly sip. I've managed to do 5 videos: the Frost Curin failure tubcast, the California's collapse, the stream with dry bread, crowdfunding charlatans, and anti-works abuser. My goal is still to do 1 upload on this stream every day, and with Dave's help doing some of the editing, it has actually become more possible. So thank you for donating, guys. All your tips on YouTube and stuff. That really does actually help out. It allows me to pay another full-timer. So thank you. In fact, I'll read a couple. Alt Racer. Reject reasonable detail, embrace autistic obsession. Thanks. Gurk Garb for $2. Good morning. Good morning, Sunday morning, Dev. Thank you. Real Holtzinator. Thanks for the $5. Good morning, Dev. How are you today? Is the RP on for today? When are you going to play Subnautica Below Zero? Keep up the good work. Below Zero, I'm not sure when we'll play it. Maybe we'll start it like next Christmas to make it like a wintry game, like a Christmassy game, because it is very cold. Oh. So I have, in fact, been trying to work reasonably hard. I wanted to write another video tomorrow. Remember when it took hours to render a video? Yeah, with my 3090, it now takes me about 10 minutes to render a video. But like, okay, I have 4 videos planned, okay? One of them is a critique of market socialism. One of them is on the COVID truckers. One of them is on the final collapse of Black Lives Matter, which happened over the weekend. And one of them is a longer more serious essay called The Liberals' Compromise. The Liberals' Compromise has already been written. I wanted to try and write one of the other videos yesterday, so that Dave, and then maybe record it so that Dave had something to edit today, but I just couldn't get it done. I wonder if I've finally reached my limit on how much I can write in a given period of time, because like I sat down in front of my computer and I was like trying to do it and it was just fucking garbage, dude. So maybe I can only write so many scripts at once, you know? Maybe like, or maybe I need to like just get better at it. But with before, the bottleneck on my channel, aside from like my own laziness, was how fast I could edit things. And Dave's actually a faster editor than I am when it comes to sound editing. So with Dave taking over the sound editing duties, it's become much easier to make videos. So now maybe the bottleneck is my ability to write. Yeah, BLM collapsed. You'll see the video. Maybe if I can record it between the end of this stream and the start of the RP at 3 o'clock, maybe you'll see the video tomorrow. Thanks for the donation, Devanor. You want cold? Play Frostpunk. I don't know what Frostpunk is. So yeah, basically I'm at the point where like the channel's doing very well and I really appreciate it. However, my ability to actually do daily uploads is going to depend on whether or not I can just get good at writing and not get any sort of writer's block throughout the week. Because pretty much every single yeah, I know Doomqueer, I know. Pretty much every single video I made last week was written last week. Like I just fucking did it. Yeah, I just got to get into the groove. I'll get there. There's a few other things I have to announce as well. The Minecraft server's still down. I'm probably going to look into it after the stream as well. I basically, one of the mods is incompatible with updating it to 1.18 or whatever the new patch was. I forget what patch it is. But people have been like, Dev, where's the Minecraft server? And it's been down. I'm sorry. It's been down. It's been down for like 2 weeks. I'll see if I can put it back up. Okay? So that's on the docket. What else? Oh, yes. So I did pin the gaming channel in the chat. Make sure everyone go follow that, okay? It is on Twitch, but there is also a YouTube gaming channel called Game Boomer. They're both called Game Boomers, so yeah. YouTube.com/GameBoomer will get you there. And we stream there most nights. We stream there Monday night through Saturday night. We don't usually stream Sunday nights. Though that might change in the near future, but for now it's not. And it's less political. SFO is more political. That's less political. But you probably know, if you've been listening to me for a while, you know all this. You know what Game Boomers is, don't you? So usually on this stream, I also announce the weekly Game Boomers schedule. And this time I can't. There's been a few things that have happened over the past 24 hours that I should alert you to. One. Well, actually, they're both related to Naomi. Okay. One is that her grandmother has died, and that just happened. The second one is that she has moved into a reasonably important role at her workplace, and the only other person who can consistently do the job that she does is now in quarantine for COVID. So she is now doing a bunch of overtime at the same time as the family disaster is happening. And there's literally no way out of it. So I think you will not see Naomi on the stream this week. Because it's going to be a hell week for her. You know, we did consider doing like Mass Effect Mondays again with Naomi on Game Boomers, but I think it might just be too much for her. So I think it'll be Dave and I holding down the fort on Game Boomers for the next week. Well, she is in the SFO Discord if you want to ping her. She's a Dictator Numi if you want to ping her over in the SFO Discord. Retneck for $5, asking on behalf of people I know. Do you do interviews and chats with creators of their projects that spit in the face of cancel culture? I mean, I don't mind the idea of doing it. I've just never done it before. Doomcore for $5. Dude, don't put the server back up with bad mods. Just wait until the update. I know, Doomcore, I know. I'm gonna look in the mod. I'm looking into the mods. Okay, I'm gonna look into it. The thing is, Hop, most jobs will let you off for a funeral, and I'm sure if she asked, they would. But like, there's only 3 people at her store that can do the job that she does. And if the job isn't done, the store shuts down because it's basically running the finances of the store. And she's the only one who can do it this week because the others are legally quarantined due to COVID exposure. So either she just muscles through it or the store shuts down for a week. And it doesn't matter what's happening in your personal life. If that happens, like you are shit out of luck for a job. Thank you for the $2, generic. I'll make sure to tell her. You know what Flashcast is? People keep saying Flash. What the fuck is Flashcast? So yeah, normally I would give you a Game Boomer schedule. Usually it's something like Mass Effect Mondays, Tuesday or Wednesday we play some Skyward Sword. On Friday we're playing Borderlands 2. Naomi still might show up for that. I don't know. But this time I can't give you any kind of schedule. It'll be Dave and I playing. Like Dave and I have been playing Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam Guide, and we'll probably keep playing that. We'll probably pick up Shadow the Hedgehog. That's a game we wanted to play. We might get back to Thimbleweed Park. But point being, no Naomi for the streams this week. Possibly on Friday, but most likely not any other day. So, that's the story. Green Frog bad. The honk honk will continue until morale improves. Thank you. So what? Wait, what should I fundraise for, Milliwigs? For me? That's what every stream is. So yeah, what is Flashcast? Yellow Flash 2? What is all this stuff? Hold on. Yellow Flash 2. Does he do something called the Flashcast? He does 6. He has a weekly stream with like 6 drunk YouTubers. Flashcast. Bitch moaned about the recording last night. White Nessa, thanks for the $5. Really enjoyed the chat with my dry bread. Always nice to see you having fun instead of having to talk about the stupid stuff the internet has to offer. Well, White Nessa, if that's how you feel, come watch the gaming channel because that's where I have fun every night. Wait, hold on. Why is every video on Yellow Flash 2's channel a fundraiser? What are they fundraising? What is this shit? Is this like a fucking scam? I don't believe it. Flashcast. Everyone is talking about the Flashcast, but like I can't even find their channel. Like, what is it? Is Flashcast a real thing? Wait, you can set all your vids to fundraisers? Why would you do that? I'm sorry, guys. I just don't even know what Flashcast is. I can't even find the fucking channel. I looked at Yellow Flash 2, and like, it doesn't seem to be a podcast channel. It just seems to be like a, You know, like a React channel or something. Thanks for the $10, Jasso. You should do a live Tubcast with Lilith to christen the Tubcast channel. Maybe post a simple trailer and SFO to advert. Bonus if you did a real tub. I will do last week's supers. However, that is our plan. That's how we're going to christen the Tubcast channel, is a live Tubcast once we get started. It's on the Yellow Flash 2's channel. Okay, I'm looking at it, though, but like, where is it? Jesus Christ, this channel's a lot of uploads. This is just the quartering. This is like the quarterings channel. Just uploads. All right, fine. Did you see Ethan Klein body shame Nicholas Diorio, then getting canceled but live on chat in the Street podcast? I didn't, Gurk Garb. Is that a thing? Hold on. Ethan Klein. I kind of want to find it. When did that happen? Gurk Garb? He doesn't post the VODs? Oh, okay, alright. Yeah, see, I don't like that shit. I don't like removing content after it's gone, you know? After it's been aired. I like having everything backed up. I'll check on Twitter about this Ethan Klein shit. It's always good to have more Ethan Klein baggage to add to the file. I'm just trying to find it. I like Gundam Wing quite a bit, Trick. I can't find what you're talking about here, Gurk Garb. Sorry. I'm not so fond of Yellow Flash. He's basically the quartering with comics and anime, but he helps start the ICM with Vic movements, which is cool. Okay. Well, thanks, Schnitzel. Well, I'll see if I can find it later. But yeah, Ethan Klein is like a fucking living joke at this point, isn't it? Nothing's wrong with the quartering. I like him. He's a good guy. Just he posts way too much content. I can't watch all of it. All right. More like Ethan Decline. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. Okay, Gundam Wing is great, but holy fuck is that show homoerotic. I didn't notice it when I was a kid, but when I rewatched it when I was like 26 or 27, and holy fuck, it's it's very homoerotic. That stuff just flew over my head completely when I was a kid. Okay, Augie RFC. I'll check it out. Augie RFC. Alright, where is it? Ethan Klein fat shames Nicholas Diorio. Fucking hell. Man, these people, they just cultivate the worst fucking audiences. Like, I'm not scared of you guys. You guys are all great. You guys are excellent. Appearing on the Flashcast would help bolster your channel. I don't know anybody there. Like, I'm not somebody who makes connections. Actually, Doomer Politics and I had this argument recently, guys. He's like, I made a bunch of connections. That's why I know all these people. That's why I know like Stardust and Aristocracy and people over in Destiny's community and people over in Sargon's. And I know Adam and Sitch. I've got connections everywhere, man. And I'm just like, yeah, it's fair enough. I don't do any kind of networking. But you know what the difference is? I make videos and you don't. Would you or Dave want to do an anime watch night with donors? Says Lord Tennyson's pipe. Dave already does that. He does movies though. He does like movie nights in Discord, man. The Rift person. Posts too much content is the YouTube equivalent of first world problems. Had to chuckle at that one. Yeah, fair enough. Like I don't dislike quartering. It's just I can't watch all of his stuff. That's all. Take Doomer's wrench. I'm happy to be a fan of yours. I don't hate when you and I disagree. I just disagree, and you don't hate us when we disagree. It's pretty wholesome. Well, thank you very much, Reed. I mean, my Discord is a fucking shit show like all the time. I don't know what I'm gonna do about the Discord. Maybe I just need to like delete it and start over. Like fuck. However, the Donator Club is actually pretty nice. It's pretty wholesome in the Donator Club. You know? But the autism containment area is like just pure fucking cancer. It's pure fucking cancer in my Discord. Good God. I might need to like split back up the autism containment text and the autism containment pictures channels. You know what I mean? I will give the Discord a once over again. Actually, I'll ping the mods. I will give the Discord another trimming down. What should I change? Doing it this afternoon. There we go. Okay. Mods pinged. Nuke it. Just delete the fucking Discord. Dev, what do you think about quartering interviewing Frosk from G4? Did he actually do it? I heard that she was backing out of all that shit. Paywall the entire Discord. Thanks, Alt Racer. I don't think that's right, to be honest. Oh wait, did he actually do it? Let's see. Because Nerdrotic interviewed her, it seems. Wait, this is a fake interview. That's clearly not Frosk. That's clearly not fucking Frosk. It's like somebody in a Frosk wig. What the fuck? Okay, hold on. Did Quartering actually interview her? He hasn't done it yet. Yeah, see, Millywiggs, I agree. Posting too much reduces the quality in editing. Yellow Flash, Clownfish, and ya boy Zach all have the same off-the-hip rambling video title, Avoidance, and I have something 10 minutes long. You see, that's why I actually make my videos about something, you know? Tom Darks, I Sharky Thomas, I'm talking about the return of SJW content creation on YouTube. You think it'll be a bunch of clone quarterings? Possibly, Gark, yeah. Possibly. I mean, we might be due for like a Frosk update if more things keep happening. I'll make another small video like updating everyone on it, but I think it's a done story now. The interview's up on our OnlyFans. All right. Okay, that's enough of this stuff. That's enough of this. Perhaps we should get on with it. What do I have? What have I got for you guys today? Okay. Let's get going. We've been goofing around for too long, eh? Here's the shell time. If you want to support the channel, you can give a monthly $5 tip at Patreon, Subscribestar, the YouTube memberships button here, or the Twitch channel, Game Boomers, my gaming channel. DM fucking finally, fuck you. We're here. This is not just a weekly news show. We're here to dick around. You can also get into the $5 club in Discord by dropping 100 USD directly into the PayPal. Just send me the receipt. We'll put you in there. Me or the mods, either way. P.O. Box. If you want to send stuff to me, send me your box of garbage. Send it to that P.O. box on screen. Once I have 5 P.O. boxes, Jesus Christ, once I have 5 packages from the P.O. box, I will open them on stream for you to watch. Okay. Before we start with the news, there's one final thing to do. I want to show you. There's been enough fan art that it's worth going over community fan art. Let's go. So first of all, you fuckers. A lot of you just fill up the fan art channel with like photoshops of my face, my avatar's face onto random things. You got like this fucking cat, and you got the Rip and Tear guy. You got fucking whoever the fuck, whatever anime ass character this is. And this is from that one really famous hentai, right? You fuckers. Here's Hollow Knight. I'll appreciate this one. I don't even know what this one is. Who? And I'm not a fucking furry, okay? This is... okay, yeah. Fine. I guess I'm a kid now. Welcome back to my childhood. And then, yes, I can also be Jesus. That's fine. So what the fuck, guys? So here's more. Here's the actual fan art, though, okay? Someone decided to go back and draw FemDev again. Fuck you, Sargon. I'm not going to be a dad. I mean, I guess this version of me could be a mom. That's like hand-drawn. Dude, that's actually, like, cool. Would you guys bang? What do you think? What do you think? Do I have like thigh highs? Jesus. All right. Someone else also made FemDev. FemDev is like rapidly becoming more popular. Why? Would smash that devussy. There's so many. There's like 10 FemDevs now. Come on, guys. Oh yeah, someone did a pixel art of my co-host on Game Boomers and now editor Dave. Here's a happy Dave without Dev on the couch. He's so happy, isn't he? Somebody literally made Dev fat. They welded it or something onto metal. And they want to send this to me. What fucking use do I have for literal plates of metal that say Dev fat? Like, could I use this? Dude, that should be my license plate. We're getting a car soon, so maybe I should put it I'll like apply for a custom license plate, and it'll be like Dev Fat, the license plate. What do you guys think? Dev Fat. That's right. This is Lala Honey's artwork, and I use it as the thumbnail today. The Tubcast, Dev and Lilith. What do you guys think? Lilith always really appreciates it when she gets Tubcast fan art too. She really likes it. She looks so smug in this image here, you know? You know, in real life, she actually is pretty pale. She's not like pure white, but she is pretty pale. And the final piece of artwork I have for today is this. Somebody decided. Actually, this was the guy that does all my backgrounds for the SFO stuff, like the big fat dev, like with the coffee and laughing. He also drew this. He drew a Game Boomers background. He took like the font and like the pre-show how it looks, and then he just made our couch flying through space on rockets. There's me with my coffee and the game, and there's Dave, the editor. He's having a good time here. That's actually like a pretty realistic look of his face. Like he actually does look like this. And then there's Naomi in a UFO in the background. I actually like this quite a bit. This is actually a pretty good piece of fan art. This one's pretty good. Now, I don't know if I'll actually use this on the Game Boomers show proper, because I like keeping the branding of Game Boomers separate from SFO. And this is like in that SFO style, so I might not use it on Game Boomers, but I do appreciate it. I absolutely do appreciate it. I might like, if I can get him to remove the timer, I might use it for like Game Boomers announcement videos on SFO. Like the occasional time that we do like E3 or something, I'll use this. That's possible. And let me read some of these supers that I missed real quick. Hold on. Help me settle this argument, says Schmidt. What is the correct way to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Honestly, I prefer them toasted. Toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That's the way. Thank you for the $5. Tig Biddy Dev Mommy Milkers. Thanks for the fuck you. Devlin is her name, says the Alt Racer. Thanks. Investigator Wimquin. Dev, you can find the Flashcast at Corono. All right, I'll check it out later. Thank you. Oversized Trash Panda. Dev Chan and Sitch Chan Yuri Wen. Oh, God. Someone might actually do that. EC90, thanks for the 10. Dev, did you hear that Disney is changing the name of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves to be more PC and avoid causing offense? Instead, it will be renamed Snow White and the Seven Midgets. Jesus. Jesus Christ. AB Coats for two, what are those, pounds? Use the metal Dev Fat sign as a barbell. Thanks. The Real Holtznator. You should go back on the Archcast and remind Kibbs that you thought he was gay. Also remind him of that during the RP. That was hilarious. Thanks, man. Thanks. Okay. Perhaps it's time for us. That's all the fan art that I have for you. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Let's talk about some articles, guys. Is my little library contributing to the gentrification of my black neighborhood? So you guys might have seen these before. If you live in a certain type of location, you see there's actually one around the corner from me even. There's a little there's like a little bookshelf behind like a glass thing with books in it, you know? If you want, you can go in there, you can take a book, you can leave a book. It's a really wholesome, community-oriented thing, right? I will read all the super chats at the end of the show, and also last week's super chats too. I will definitely go back and read them, okay? Make your license plate thick, boy. Thanks, Schmidt. So, sometimes reasonably wholesome people will build little mini libraries near the edge of their lawn, by the sidewalk for people in the community to come and take and leave books. Okay? But apparently, she's a black woman living in this neighborhood, and is my little library contributing to the gentrification of my black neighborhood? Why would you possibly think this? Why is reading books anti-black to you racist fucks? Jesus. About a year ago, I decided to build a library on my front lawn. My library is one of those little freestanding library boxes that dot lawns and bedroom communities around the country. Charming, birdhouse-like structures filled with books that invite neighbors and passersby to take a book or donate a book, or both. I spotted the phenomenon on walks through upscale, largely white neighborhoods around Los Angeles and immediately resolved to bring it home to Inglewood. Why not? A library is not so much a marker of wealth and whiteness as it is an affirmation of the community and cozy small-town camaraderie in that Inglewood, a mostly black and Latino city in southwest Los Angeles County, has plenty of. We deserve no less. Pre-pandemic, Inglewood was gentrifying, another reason I had been inspired to do the library. I wanted to signal to my longtime neighbors we had our own ideas about improvement. We can carry them out in our own way. There are organizations that help people build these little libraries, but I did mine independently. I envisioned it as a place for my neighbors to stay connected during the pandemic. The wooden post on which the library sat was a stake in the ground, literally. The response to the library was slow at first. It was the first in the area, and some people mistook it for a birdhouse or a mailbox. But I was pleased to soon see people stopping by to browse and take home books. Then one morning, glancing out my front window, I saw a young white couple had stopped at the library. Instantly, I was flooded with emotions. Astonishment, and then resentment, and then astonishment at my resentment. It all converged into a silent scream in my head of, "Get off my lawn! No white people allowed, I guess. Jesus." The moment jolted me into realizing some things I'm not especially proud of. I had set out this library for all who lived here, and even for those who didn't, in theory. I would not want to restrict anyone from looking at it or taking books based on race or anything else. But while I had seen white newcomers to the neighborhood here and there, the truth was I hadn't set it out to appeal to white residents. Now that the white people were in front of my house, curious about this new neighborhood attraction, I didn't know how to feel. By bringing this modern cultural artifact here from white neighborhoods, had I set up the neighborhood? Was I contributing to gentrification and sending the wrong message about how I wanted the neighborhood to be? What I resented was not this specific couple. It was their whiteness, and my feelings of helplessness at not knowing how to maintain the integrity of a black space that I had created. I was seeing up close how fragile that space can be, how its meaning can be changed in my mind, even by people who have no conscious intention to change it. The library was on my lawn, but for that moment it became theirs. I built it and drove it into the ground because I love books, but suddenly I felt that I could not own even this, something that was clearly and intimately mine. This person's a fucking racist. This person is just a fucking racist. Like, how dare white people take what's mine when I make it freely available to everyone? And I want everyone to use it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus. Fucking hell, dude. Like, this person seems more fragile than any space that you could possibly create. Oh god, we're not gonna read this whole fucking thing, but I will. It's like there's like a story of her uncle who had a cross burned on his lawn, like back in the day. Here's somebody, your uncle might have actually, in fact, probably did, in fact, experience real racism. Okay, you and your fucking library is not the same goddamn thing. Jesus. My library, affirming as it is also an illusion. It can't save our neighborhood. Still, in 2021, it has become increasingly important to maintain and grow black space on its own terms. As I watched the white couple peruse my little library, the most complicated feeling of all was the brief, bittersweet satisfaction I took in watching them drawn to my lawn, to my idea. It felt empowering and hopeful on one hand, defeating on the other. So what message do I hope they took from my library? The same message I wanted to send to the rest of my neighbors, my community. Black presence has value in every sense of the word on its own terms. That value should make the casual displacement of black people untenable, even immoral. Oh my god. Fuck. Like, this person's fucked, dude. This person is actually fucked. She's just a racist. She's just a fucking racist, dude. I know. Okay, there was recently a controversy that the American Defense League has put up a definition. Hold on, maybe I can just show you. Okay, hold on. No, it's the Anti-Defamation League. Sorry, not the American Defense League. Okay. Check this out, guys. Racism, according to the ADL, the marginalization and or oppression of people of color based on a socially constructed racial hierarchy that privileges white people. Does that mean that the Japanese Empire during World War II, butchering their way through China, they weren't racist? Is that what we're talking? Is that what's going on here? Gurk, Ethan shamed his dad for simping on the hub. I don't know what that is. Oh, I mean, I'll have to look into it later. Thank you though. Stug for $2. Publication plus power equals gentrification. Thanks. Yeah, this is actually racist right here. Like you're not even trying to say like systemic racism, which you might be able to make this argument in white countries that this is what systemic racism is. You're just saying all racism is this. All racism everywhere is this. Weren't the Jews of Europe white? Yes. Fucking hell. Like, what a fucking awful definition. The ADL is like is just a shit show now. Okay, let's continue. Oh, check this out. Check this out. Check this out. We're not going to do audio on it. Okay? Astronaut Mark Kelly once smuggled a full gorilla suit on board the International Space Station. He didn't tell anyone about it. One day, without anyone knowing, he put it on. Oh my god. Check this out. It's a gorilla in space. Oh my god! Oh my god! I like how he just fucking like scares the shit out of the guy. What could you possibly be thinking? Like, okay, let's say you are the other astronaut, okay? Do you recognize it as a gorilla or as just a random creature? Do you think it's an alien as your first, like, as your first guess? Do you think that somehow a gorilla came from Earth, like on a ship that you didn't know about? Like, like when he's swimming away, what thoughts are going through his head? Insert Benny Hill music. This is a promo for an Ape Escape remake. That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good. Return to Monkey, guys. Oh, check this shit out. Okay. Train crashes into small plane on LA rail tracks. Check it out. The plane landed on the rail tracks right there. And there's the train. Boom! Fucking camera guy almost gets beheaded by a piece of metal. Jesus. Okay. Check this out though, okay? We're gonna slow motion it. Right here. That's not slow motion. Come on, YouTube. Help me out here. We're gonna slow motion it. Okay. Watch the plane. There's a crowd of cops there. And they're like pulling someone to safety, see? They pull him to safety just as the train boom. Jesus. And in fact, there's actually a video of the guy being it's kind of bloody, so sorry, I guess this video ain't getting monetized. But like they pull the pilot out of the plane seconds before the train hits it. Like watch this shit. Just watch it, okay? Like you got to get him out of there. Like the train's fucking right there, dude. And they pull him out. And they just fucking run. And boom! Jesus. That's crazy, man. I mean, good job on them. All these cops did a good job. People are saying ACAB, fuck off with that shit. Get out of here. Cops, honestly, actually, most of the time do good jobs. There are a few bad apples, but most of the time the cops are pretty good. LA has become worse than Los Santos. Thanks. Thanks for the $2, man. Wild, eh? All right. Blind woman told to get off the bus because guide dogs can't be black. Jesus. A blind woman was told to get her fucking dog off a bus by a passenger who didn't believe guide dogs could be any other color than yellow. Dog racism, guys. Megan Taylor, 22, was on the bus with her guide dog, Rowley, when the unnamed woman approached her and said, "Why is there a fucking dog on the bus? Get it off." But when Megan tried to politely explain, Rowley was an assistance dog. She claims the woman called her a liar because guide dogs are yellow Labradors and your dog is black. I tried to explain to her that guide and assistance dogs can be any color, don't have to be Labradors. She told me I was wrong. I decided at this point there's nothing I could say to educate this woman, and that isn't worth my time. I instead chose to ignore her as she continued to talk nonsense. Oh, that's a good dog. You know what's funny, though? Approaching a woman who's blind and being like, "Your dog isn't yellow." And then she's like, "What the fuck is yellow? I'm blind." God damn, man. The incident was not the first time she had been abused on public transport and left her anxious to go on the bus again. I don't think I've ever had a stress-free trip on public transport. That's why I'm so nervous using it now. On other occasions, I've been spat at, stepped over, pushed out of the way, accused of being another drunk youth when losing consciousness due to my heart condition or neurological disorder. Jesus. That's fucking rough, man. Her dog looks nice, though. Are all blind women dog-pilled? All right. I'm perplexed by the maskless, muscle-bound buffoons at the gym. Oh yeah, the guy who made this, David Weiss. Let's just do a quick search for him. Wait. That's not him. None of these are the David Weiss that made the article. Shit. How many David Weisses are there? Christ. Okay. Anyway, the guy, he's like a balding, kind of overweight dude. This person who wrote this article. It's kind of funny. Herewith some select post-seasonal gripes and groans. I kept my big maleficent mouth shut as the holidays rolled through, figuring the world has enough worries and woes and little need for gratuitous misanthropy. But that inflatable buck stops here. I'm setting the pressure cooker to vent and hope nobody gets steamed as I greet the glorious new year with some rude remarks and bitter ruminations. The holidays are over. False cheer begone. Let's get ready to rumble. Jesus Christ. This guy writes fucking terribly. What is this fucking article? But first, a faint literary memory. In some fat, rusky novel I read in college, two old gents are sitting on a park bench discussing life in general and agreeing that gossip was one of their few remaining joys. When I was a young man, the first one said, I loved individuals with the greatest passion, but I hated humanity. Now that I'm old, I love humanity, but every last person bothers me for absolutely no reason at all. This one for the cut of his coat, that one for the jaunty way he wields his umbrella. No one is exempt. I share the latter position as a newly confirmed geezer. My heart sings in sympathy for the embattled human race, its cherished institutions on the respirator, the very air we breathe, laden with lethal microbes, fellowship gone fallow. Yet my tolerance for foolishness and myopia is at an all-time low. Allow me to illustrate. One of the great things about growing old in a granny state is that Medicare throws in that silver sneakers deal, hoping to keep old folks from doing swan dives in the shower. Free gym membership? Count this cheap bastard in. I joined LA Fitness and 24-Hour Fitness. Why would you need both of them? Bought a new Spalding basketball and looked forward to battling the pandemic blues by launching a volley of threes every other morning. So far, so good. Of course, when the gyms opened back up after the first COVID wave, our trusted California state officials made mask wearing mandatory and more recently added proof of vaccination status for good measure. While I had vowed never to return to a sweaty, huffing and puffing public health club when the Wuhan What's-It hit our shores, my need for athletic distraction and a feeling that King Corona was losing his left hook, Siren called me back into action. But now that the ever-loving Omicron variant is transmitting like the CKLW in its glory days, I am amazed and perplexed at the number of muscle-bound buffoons traipsing around the gym with masks at half-mast or not bothering to wear one at all, despite the policy flyers pasted all over the place. When I first took notice of this viral lawlessness, I stopped at the service desk on my way out and reported such wanton disregard for the rules to a trio of 20-something staff members. Yeah, we know, one of them drawled indifferently. We don't have enough staff to make sure everyone's following the rules, but we will have someone do a walkthrough when the manager gets in. When the manager gets in, by then that pesky nano killer will have the opportunity to pass its spiky baton to 100 treadmilling troglodytes who will pre-force take it home and share the deadly bounty with family members and friends, or anyone else unfortunate enough to consort with these myopic fox-wearing miscreants. Frankly, I don't care if the vax and mask refusers wind up gasping for air in the ER. What the fuck? This guy. Like, This guy is a terrible writer. This guy writes like I did when I was 15. You don't find it necessary to wear a mask, huh? I asked him pointedly. Pretty boy Void looked a little stunned, and certainly a serrated dialogue balloon would have revealed his thoughts to be, who is this wrinkled old fuck, and what business does he have telling me what to do? Yes. Fuck you. Instead, he decided to argue his case on the merits as he saw it, explaining that he has a daughter in Florida who goes to school unmasked, and that she never caught the COVID. Besides which, the self-dubbing epidemiologist added, that mask you're wearing isn't protecting you from anything. Do you know how small the virus is? Like 1 micron across? Masks don't work. And who are you, Superman? I replied with a sarcastic smirk. You apparently don't give a damn whose deadly droplets you fill your lungs with. Nor, I should add, whom you might subsequently infect given your studied indifference to both science and the law. What's up with that? The lanky, GQ'd, coiffed fop stared at me with equal measures of disdain and disbelief, but held his tongue. Without forethought, I offered an ungloved fist bump and said, well, good luck to you anyways. He returned the gesture, if but weakly, and returned to his bodybuilding regimen. He was probably preparing to be an extra in some no-budget martial arts flick, pumping iron like a madman for 8 seconds of screen time. Hey, I'm not bitter. I truly hope that Gorgeous George gets the gig and they shoot on location in Wuhan. This guy's like a fucking loser. Yeah, he's literally just like a Karen. If someone came up to you and was like, you don't find it necessary to wear a mask, huh? I'd be like, yes. Yes, that is the case. Yes. What are you going to do? Yes. Yes. And it's like, you don't care what other people around you? No. Just fucking Chad it. Chad the whole thing. No. I remember the last time I went to a grocery store, there was a dude who was at the front, and he's like, you have to wear a mask. And I just looked at him, and I'm like, I remember, I looked at him, and I said, are you throwing me out of the store? And he says, he just like looked, it was like a wagey, right? And he was like, you have to wear a mask. And I just said, are you throwing me out of the store? And he says, I'm not throwing you out of the store, but you have to wear a mask. And I said, okay, I understand, thank you. And I just walked right in. And he didn't do anything. And that's how it should be. Be polite but firm. Don't fucking start a fight. If they're gonna throw you out, they'll throw you out. Like, it's their business. It's their right to throw you out. But you don't like start screaming or throwing punches. You walk in, and you make them be the unreasonable one. And either they will back down, they almost always back down, or they'll tell you to leave, and then you take your business elsewhere. then you take your business elsewhere. I have basically trialed and errored a bunch of places in this city, and I kind of know where I can go now without where they're like silently not scanning vax passports. I know what's going on. That Wagey was probably fired because of you. Good. Beej for $10. The Inglewood story is all the more fun because it was founded by Klansmen in the 20s and was crazy race till the 60s when demographics shifted to a majority black. Jesus. Investigator Wumquin for $5. Thank you. Dev, what's your opinion of aristocracy? Personally, I don't like her due to a number of factors, but the biggest one is her stance on the Uyghur crisis. I only know of her existence. I've seen a few clips that make me think that she's all right, but I don't know enough about her. I'd like to talk to her one day, though. If anybody watches or knows aristocracy, tell her that I'll talk to her. If she wants. I mentioned this to Taftadge later, or yesterday, where there's a bunch of like channels that are objectively smaller than mine. There are a bunch of channels that are objectively smaller than mine, like that are in the YouTube, that are in the Twitch politics space, like Aristocracy, like Stardust, like Taftadge, in fact. But it's very hard for me to like contact them because we don't at all exist in the same area of YouTube. Like I am not part of the Twitch politics arena. So like, even though I might have, 10 times or 100 times the number of subs that these guys have, they're still like, who the fuck is that guy? And it's like, yeah, fair enough. Who the fuck am I? The answer is nobody. What are your thoughts on the trucker caravan? That video's coming, dude. That video's coming, JSO. Okay, what's next? I let my mom and sister sleep with my husband. The relationship between a mother, daughter, and sister can be an unbreakable bond, but when it comes to sharing things, there's always a limit. However, one woman doesn't seem to mind just how much she shares with her family members. Self-described swinger Brooke Macklin has outlined her unusual family arrangement in a few viral posts. She can be seen with two women who she claims are her mom and sister. She shares her husband with her mom. Yeah, this is my mom. Yeah, I let my hubby have her a couple times a week. Yeah, I'm that kind of wife. My life, don't judge. Hashtag swinger lifestyle. Hashtag hot mom. To be fair, she actually is like reasonably good looking for her age, isn't she? But, what? IRL hentai? Yeah, exactly, dude. I have several questions, says JonTron. Hold on. Jumper WC. Your channel is shit, just like your political opinions. Yeah, I know. I think we all know. What happens if one gets pregnant? You have a brother, sister, nephew, or niece, but also a stepchild. Jesus. Hold on. In another video, in which she subtitled Swinger Life, Macklin claims she keeps her man happy by letting him play with her little sister, too. Like, hold on. Does he just fuck all of them? Or do they do like threesomes or foursomes? What? The Japanese have a term of having a three-way with a mother and daughter. It's called oyakuru. What the fuck is that? I don't know. Mom has the cougar look. This is, oh God. It's kind of funny because like Naomi and I have had this argument before where Naomi thinks it's gross because it's incest. And I'm like, hold on. It's not incest for the guy. It's incest for the girls. The guy's not fucking any of his family members. You know what I mean? So it's not incest for him. Now you could make other arguments against his conduct, obviously. But to say that he's engaging in incest is not true. Okay, let's continue. 2 Los Angeles cops are fired for ignoring a robbery to chase a Snorlax in Pokemon Go. What? LA Police Department officers Luis Lorenzo and Eric Mitchell were fired for ignoring a robbery in progress because they were busy chasing a Snorlax in Pokemon Go. They appealed their termination in court but were denied. For approximately the next 20 minutes, the digital in-car video system in their squad car captured the petitioners discussing Pokemon as they drove to different locations where the virtual creatures apparently appeared on their mobile phones. On their way to the Snorlax location, Officer Mitchell alerted Officer Lorenzo that a Togetic just popped up, noting that it was on Crenshaw just south of 50th. After Mitchell apparently caught the Snorlax, exclaiming, "Got him!" petitioners agreed to go get the Togetic and drove off. When their car stopped, the DICVS recorded Mitchell saying, "Don't run away, don't run away," while Lorenzo described how he buried it and Ultra Balled the Togetic before announcing, "Got him." Mitchell advised he was still trying to catch it, adding, "Holy crap, man, this thing is fighting the crap out of me." Eventually, Mitchell exclaimed, "Holy crap, finally," apparently in reference to capturing the Togetic, and he remarked, "The guys are going to be so jealous." Petitioners then agreed to return to the 7-Eleven to end their watch. On his way, Mitchell remarked, "I got you new Pokemon today, dude." They also denied playing Pokemon Go while on duty. They claimed they were monitoring a Pokemon tracker application on the phone but not playing the game itself. As for catching the Pokemon, Officer Lozano insisted this referred to capturing an image of the Pokemon on the tracking application to share with friends. While Officer Mitchell said that his statements about fighting the Togetic referred to relaying that information to the groups on my app. In order to take the picture occasionally, the creature will fight. They said they were not engaged in a game, but rather a social media event. Wow. Imagine fucking lying to the court for Pokemon Go. Cops aren't racist, they're weebs. The incest is less cringe than this. Turkish photographer beats up client after learning his bride is 15 years old. Damn. A wedding job for one Turkish photographer took a dramatic turn last week after he ended up in a physical altercation with his client, even breaking his nose upon learning that his bride-to-be was only 15. He admitted to the attack after learning of the bride's real age. The story and support for Albriac has snowballed on social media after it emerged he took action to halt the wedding. Jesus. He asked the age of the bride, having been enlisted to shoot the ceremony. Refusing to take the pictures, he claims his client insisted he was bound by their contract to photograph their wedding. Things soon turned violent when the groom initiated an attack as Albrecht tried to leave. However, the photographer ended up breaking the client's nose in commotion. Child brides are victims of child abuse, and no power on earth can make me photograph a child in a wedding gown. He had come to my studio some 2 weeks ago and was alone. I saw the bride for the first time at the wedding. She was a child, and I felt her fear because she was trembling. The legal age for marriage is 18 in Turkey. However, child marriage is still a regular occurrence, despite the threat of imprisonment for anyone who attempts to marry an underage person. Damn. NFT Group buys copy of Dune for 2.66 million euros, believing it gives them the copyright. Oof. There's a fucking oof for you. A group of crypto enthusiasts have made an unusual purchase, a rare copy of Dune, for a staggering 2.66 million euros. It's an odd occurrence when a book expected to fetch 25,000 euros goes for 100 times that amount. But the strangest part is that the buyers, a collective called Spice DAO, appear to believe that owning an early copy of the sci-fi about space worms gives them the copyright. We won the auction for 2.66 million euros. Now our mission is to 1. Make the book public. 2. Produce an original animated limited series inspired by the book and sell it to a streaming service. 3. Support derivative projects from the community. And then, He also wants to issue a collection of NFTs that are technologically innovative and culturally disruptive. They plan to buy the book, convert it into JPEGs, then burn the book, meaning that the only copies remaining will be the JPEGs. This will enhance the value of the NFT chain. But you didn't buy the copyright of the book. You just bought a rare copy of the book. Buy high, sell low. Sigma grind set. Fucking idiots, dude. Man busted for assault set free. Allegedly beats 2 random New York women and then cut loose again. What the fuck? He who controls the NFT controls Dune. Thanks for the 2 bits, man. A homeless man charged with beating a guy last year was dumped back on the street thanks to bail reform, only to allegedly pummel 2 women in Upper West Side attacks Thursday and then be freed again. Daryl Johnson, 23, left one of his random female victims so brutally beaten that she suffered a disfiguring laceration to her face. Jesus fucking Christ. Last year, Johnson, who has more than a dozen arrests on his rap sheet, dating back to 2014, was hit with assault and harassment charges in the man's beatdown. He allegedly punched his victim about the face with a closed fist multiple times in a Harlem building. He then used his feet to kick and stomp the man. But a Manhattan judge had to release him without bail because none of the charges were eligible for the restriction under revamped state laws. Before the laws were changed, judges could use their discretion on setting bail. Then, with that case still pending, Johnson was back on the street, where he allegedly approached a 50-year-old woman at Broadway and West in Manhattan around 9:20 a.m. and assaulted her in a violent, unprovoked attack. The victim was so brutally beaten that she suffered the disfiguring laceration. Just 3 minutes later, he allegedly assaulted another woman a block away. In that incident, court records allege that Johnson walked up to the 32-year-old victim, punching her in the face, causing redness and swelling. Both women were taken to St. Luke's Hospital. In court Friday, Manhattan prosecutors recommended that Johnson be released under supervised monitoring for the attacks on the woman, a request the judge granted. A rep for the DA's office said none of the charges were harsh enough to allow the judge to order Johnson held on bail. Wow. Leave New York, guys. Holy fuck. Fairfield man accused of using racial slurs at smoothie shop after son suffers allergic reaction. I saw this. Like, the employee was recording as he came in and started shrieking at them because they put peanuts in his son's smoothie, and his son was allergic to peanuts. A Fairfield man was arrested after yelling and throwing a smoothie at Robex employees on Saturday. The rant was caught on camera by an employee. Yep. The man identified as James Inanzo made a purchase at Robex, whatever the fuck this is. He made the purchase and left. He called 911 around 1:39 p.m. and requested emergency services to his home for a juvenile suffering from an allergic reaction. Juvenile was transported to an area hospital. He then returned to the Robex and confronted the employee. Police said Inanzo yelled at employees and demanded to know who made the smoothie that contained peanuts, which caused the allergic reaction. When they couldn't tell him an answer, he became irate and started cursing and throwing things. He then threw a drink at an employee which hit their right shoulder. Jesus, can we see this maybe? Okay. I don't care about your newscasting bullshit. Here it is. Can I full screen it? Okay. Here. You know what? See, the reason that I'm not doing audio right now is because my headphones are nearly dead. But maybe I've charged them enough over the past hour or so that we can actually listen to it. Hold on. Let me get my headphones on. Ooh, coffee's nearly done, guys. All right. Let's see if this works.
A customer's rant at a popular smoothie shop in Fairfield has now gone viral. After a conflict
There
over
we
a
go.
smoothie tonight,
It works.
he's charged with assault, and that's not more. He even lost his job with Merrill Lynch.
Merrill Lynch.
To the person who made this drink.
We've edited the audio of the cell phone video captured Saturday by an employee of Robeck's smoothie shop in Fairfield. It's too disturbing to the ears.
Because
Stupid ignorant high school kids.
90 minutes earlier, customer
he said
Inazo
fuck?
ordered a smoothie.
I see him walking in like very aggressively. And then he starts cursing out our one coworker.
Caught on video, the man threw the concoction at the young girl, while another coworker called 911. Attorney Frank Riccio II says his client, Mr. Iannazo, placed an order at the Roebucks and stressed to the staff that the product must not contain peanuts. His receipt acknowledged that the order should not contain peanut butter. His son has a life-threatening peanut allergy.
Jesus.
Immigrant loser.
High school employee
Immigrant
Charlie
loser.
Hill captured
Wait,
the
hold on.
tirade
He said immigrant loser. Was that the slur?
that's gone viral on social media as coworker Gianna Miranda tried to kick him out.
And he started threatening Gianna, and he started calling her racial slurs, and he
What
threatened
slur?
to kill us multiple times.
In the Roebuck smoothie, his son had his attorney.
And we are sorry. It was made.
Was the slur just immigrant? Yeah, he turned himself in. Yeah. He obviously went like too fucking far. But like where's the like you know what? Okay. I want to point something out here. This article is Fairfield man accused of using racial slurs at smoothie shop after son suffers allergic reaction. This is probably the least important part of the story. First of all, maybe they censored the slurs. So maybe like we only heard "you immigrant loser." That's all we heard. But maybe maybe there actually were slurs that were censored. Okay. But assuming that there weren't, this is the least important part of the story. You know, workers fuck up the smoothie. Son almost dies. A guy comes in and insults and assaults the person for it, and then gets arrested. That's the story. The racial slurs isn't important, but that is what is getting front. Like here, Fairfield man is accused of using racial slurs. No. He's accused of assaulting her because he threw the fucking drink at her. The racial slurs aren't important. Like, racial slurs are not more important than assault. Oh my god. Racial slurs are not more important than assault. And yet, that's how it's being treated. Okay? Yes, his kid almost died. But like, if we're talking about his crimes, the fact that he assaulted the person is more important than the fact that he said bad words. Like, what is he charged with? He started to call her racial slurs. He threatened to kill us multiple times. Where's the actual charges? Where's the charges? Charges. Where's the fucking charges? Here's his court date. But yeah, Merrill Lynch fired him. Am I just like blind? Okay, here's the thing. Okay. According to police, employees only area, police left. Allergic reaction. Never mentioned a peanut allergy. Here we go. He was charged with intimidation based on bigotry or bias, breach of the peace, and criminal trespass. Where he threw a drink at her. Where's the assault charge? Like, this just seems like a bullshit charge. Breach of the peace, fair enough. Criminal trespass, fair enough. He tried to get into the employee area. So yeah, fair enough. But where's the assault charge? Like, God, it's so stupid. Everything's so fucking stupid. Now, here's the thing. If you spit on somebody, it's assault. If you throw a drink on somebody, it's definitely assault. There's an assault charge here. But like, Yeah, it's so dumb. Yeah, they're saying here that he didn't never mentioned a peanut allergy. It's like it's on the fucking receipt that he did. Like, you guys are stupid. You guys are just like dumb kids who fucked up. But man, this guy blew it way out of proportion. And the worst part is everyone thinks that the racial slurs are worse than him doing what he did. Racial slurs don't matter. Racism is bad, but it's not the greatest evil. All right? It's like, I'm just going to be honest with you. Racism on its own, as its own thing, not like assault motivated by racism, but just racism on its own. Just racial thought, like racist thoughts or racist speech. That's like a medium tier evil. Okay? It's bad, but it's not as bad as assault. It's not as bad as murder. It's not as bad as rape. It's not as bad as any of the actual bad things in the world. Okay? No, listen. Okay, you guys are no. Everyone in the chat right now is not understanding what I'm saying. Okay? I am not saying that him throwing the drink at the employee is on the same level as the employee nearly getting his son killed. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that him throwing the drink at the employee is worse than him using racial slurs, especially if the racial slur is just saying, "You immigrant." All right? That's what I'm saying. Okay? I hope that's clear. I'm going to move on. I hope that's fucking clear. Georgia mom says Rittenhouse's bad parents are to blame. She is then killed by her own son on Thanksgiving. Jesus Christ. We can't all be good parents like her. Damn, dude. A Georgia family is still in shock as on Thanksgiving, Marcia Chance, 42, was fatally stabbed by her own son. Arriving on the scene, police found her in a Lawrenceville home on the floor, lifeless. Having received reports of domestic assault, the Gwinnett County Police arrested her 18-year-old son, Varian Alexander Hibbert, who was living at the residence, and charged him with a felony murder and possession of a knife during the commission of a felony. While this is of course a tragic event for a family, days before her untimely death, Chance took to social media to blast the Kyle Rittenhouse trial and how his bad parents were to blame. It should come as no surprise. Okay, hold on. So this YouTuber here called the Black Conservative Perspective is the one that dug up her her old Facebook posts. And you can see, she posted, "As the real judgment day awaits, but hey, I'm not God. There's a bigger judge for everyone and everything in the universe." Yeah, but Kyle Rittenhouse's parents were a bad influence. And she gets herself fucking murdered by her own son a few days later. Jesus. Uno reverse card. Okay. Woman reveals she canceled her dream wedding just a week before the big day because her fiancé watches porn. Okay. Claire Dalton's ex kept the habit a secret from her throughout their 4-year relationship. She was so shocked she called off the marriage, despite having spent 6 months planning it. The 21-year-old is very religious and said she had been dreaming of a relationship which was true and pure and governed by God's law since she was a young girl. She thought she'd found that with her unnamed fiancé, who she split from a year ago, but now believes it was all a lie from the beginning. Just a week before the wedding, American Claire, who's a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and her fiancé were running errands for their big day, and she checked his phone to see if a shop was still open. But when she saw his search bar, she realized he had been searching for pornography possibly just hours ago and immediately felt sick to her stomach. Listen, guys, you got to use that incognito window if you know your girlfriend cares about that shit, all right? Like, Naomi doesn't give a fuck that I watch porn. Naomi, in fact, watches porn herself. Like, we're fine with it, but like, If this is the kind of girl that you want, go for it, guys. She's now available. But, Christ. At first, her husband-to-be lied and said his brother had borrowed his phone before later admitting, "It's me, I have a problem." At first, I thought it was some sick joke. It never occurred to me that pornography addiction would ever leak into my life or affect me in such a deep and excruciating way. After hearing him admit the truth, Claire decided to call off the wedding. I had to call every one of her 300 guests to break the news. But she said it wasn't so much about the porn which was the problem, but the fact that he had lied about it for years. I mean, fair enough, right? Like, if you are going to watch porn, make sure that your partner knows that you do, right? Investigator Wimquin, $5. Also, do you know of Bastiat? If so, what's your opinion on him? I think he has some good points, but he goes way too far in the progressive bubble. Bastiat is like your textbook neoliberal. And as such, there's always going to be some kind of crossover between classical liberals and neoliberals. And if there were some kind of like existential crisis, generally classical liberals and neoliberals can like get along to fight like a legitimately socialist or fascist movement. But yeah, there are some things that I don't agree with him on. But Bastiat seems to be like a nice guy. He has some crazy fucking hair, though. Hope the Cat, thanks for the $5, man. What's your position on trans children, Dev? Some people say you've always been in support of it, and I'm not even sure where that's coming from. Okay. If we accept that transness is an immutable condition, the way that being gay is, which is not necessarily immutable, but immutable enough, then we must also accept that there are some people who are born trans. However, it is impossible to know if you have been born trans until a little bit later in life. And so I generally think that we should be waiting a bit. 16 to me seems to be like a good age to actually start any kind of hormones. By then you should know if you're trans or not. So yeah. Someone I had loved and cared for deeply had been expertly lying to me for the entire length of our relationship, and possibly longer since we had been friends for so long. All at once, I was with a stranger instead of the person I thought I knew so well. In an instant, I could never trust those lying eyes ever again. All I ever wanted in a relationship was honesty, and it quickly occurred to me the only honesty I'd known at that point was fake. Fair enough, right? I find her anti-porn views to be strange, but her views on honesty are completely 100% legitimate and real, and you should follow them. Everyone should. Like, you have to be wholly honest with your partner. That includes showing them all of the terrible things that are about you, all the things that make most people run away, screaming. But that's how you build a real relationship. No, 16 sounds fine to me. 16 seems 21. Okay, America's obsession with the 21 age is stupid. All right, why the fuck would it be 21? Why is drinking 21? It's so dumb. 18's fine. 16's probably good though. So the thing is, I knew fully what my sexuality would be at 16, and I wasn't wrong. Most people do. Most people do by 16. 16 is old enough to kind of get it. Okay. Speaking of marriages, guys. Woman reveals she faked her own wedding, complete with a lavish venue, a stand-in groom, and a professional photo shoot, in a desperate attempt to get her ex to text her, only for him to ignore it. Look at this fucking Sigma male here. The Germany-based woman, who is named Jacqueline and post on TikTok, revealed that she pretended to get married in an attempt to get her ex to text her, but it didn't work. Remembering the time I faked my own wedding and had a professional photo shoot so he would reach out. The post quickly went viral. Wow. Women posting their fucking L's, dude. Hold on. A woman has admitted that she faked her own wedding in it. Look, Jesus Christ. Like, look at this fake wedding picture. You actually went to this length to attract your ex. Oh my. Like, How much money do you need to fucking... Oh, Jesus! This is like an Ultra L right here. Would you stop playing? Okay. Pictures showed her and her fake new husband cuddling, laughing, and dancing together as she donned a fancy dress and he wore a tux. Showed them getting ready to walk down the aisle together. It appears that Jacqueline even rented out a venue to take the photos, had her hair done professionally, and even paid to have a wedding cake made. The pictures, which were taken by Alessandro Villani, certainly look convincing, but ultimately the stunt was unsuccessful. Worst part is, he watched my story and still didn't reach out. Wow. Oh my fucking God, dude. Jesus Christ. What were you going to say if he had reached out? What was the plan? Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. James, thanks for the $5. I tell my harem if they have wet dreams, they're out. Jokes aside, honesty is important. Yeah, man. Yeah. Thank you, man. And then $2 from Generic. Thanks. Not even my ex-girlfriend is just desperate or thirsty. Fucking hell. What a shit show, guys. 16-year-old Wendy's employee shot in the head over a drive-thru order. Jesus Christ. A 16-year-old Wendy's employee was shot in the head during an argument over a drive-thru order on Thursday night, leaving the teen in critical condition. According to Phoenix police, the employee was serving a customer at a drive-thru window when the two got into an argument over an order. The customer pulled out a gun, walked up to the window, and began firing through the open window, hitting the teenager in the head. The suspect got back in the car on the passenger side and fled. The cops have not identified the suspect. Holy fuck! Jesus Christ, guys. 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip. This, like, I hate laughing about it, but it's so absurd. Hey guys, do you think the corpse is fresh, never frozen? Okay, I guess I'm done. I'll just go to the next article. Texas woman arrested for attempting to buy a child at Walmart. Texas is becoming the new Florida. I swear to God. You can buy anything at Walmart, but apparently you can even buy children. A Texas woman offered $500,000 to another woman at Walmart in exchange for her child while standing in line at the self-checkout last week. Rebecca Lynette Taylor, a 49-year-old woman from Crockett, was charged with the sale and purchase of a child. Real ANCAP hours here. God bless ANCAPistan. The Crockett Police Department indicated an officer was on patrol on January 13th when she received a phone call from the mother of the child, saying a white woman with blonde hair approached her in the Crockett Walmart, 2 hours north of Houston, wanting to purchase her son. The mother had a baby in a car seat and her 1-year-old in a cart. Taylor began commenting on her son's blonde hair and blue eyes. She then asked how much she could purchase him for. The mom tried to laugh the comment off, thinking Taylor was joking. However, Taylor told her that she had $250,000 in the car and would pay that much for him. The mother told her that no amount of money would do. Once outside in the parking lot, Taylor confronted the mother again and asked to buy the baby. The affidavit stated that Taylor told the mother she had been wanting to buy a child for a long time. Taylor began screaming at the mom, saying if she wouldn't take $250,000, she would give her $500,000 because she wanted him and she was going to take him. The mother got in her vehicle and locked the door with her child in it. Taylor left the scene shortly after. Surveillance footage caught the incident on camera, and a warrant was issued for Taylor's arrest. Jesus Christ, dude. What the fuck? East Texas, that makes sense. My God, empty egg carton moment. Wait a minute. Aiden, shouldn't you be having kids soon if you believe in empty egg cartonism? I mean, I'm fine. But what about you? Okay, guys, that is all the articles I have for you today. As always, if you want to support the channel, all you have to do is give a $5 recurring monthly tip at any of those 4 sources: Patreon, Subscribestar, the YouTube memberships button, or the twitch.tv/GameBoomers gaming channel, which I stream on Monday through Saturday evenings. Has to be $5 recurring, because the recurring allows the bot to automatically put you into the $5 club in my Discord. If you give $100 US directly to the PayPal, that gets you into the $5 club for life. Just send me the receipt. Send me or my mods the receipt. We will put you in, okay? Now, I missed some... I think I got all the Super Chats this week, but I missed some Super Chats from last week. So let's scroll down and see them. I hope they haven't been lost to time. Okay. Let's read last week's Super Chats, guys. Oh, and also, as I mentioned, just before I get into the Super Chats, as I mentioned, because of the family situation with Naomi, she will not be around on Game Boomers this week. Probably not. Because of the family situation and the work situation. Basically, a bunch of... if you didn't hear the start of the stream, the TLDR is a bunch of bad shit has happened to Naomi recently. Somebody has died, and a bunch of people have been put into quarantine, so she must now also do, like, overtime at work. It's not a good situation for Naomi right now. I think she is going to be gone for a week. So not on the channel. And yes, I'll be on Skaven in a few hours at 3 p.m. in 3 hours, okay? AQ for $5. This is last week's Super Chats, by the way. AQ for $5. You didn't read my Super Chat. I'm never Super Chatting again. Oh, fuck. J Mac for $50. Jesus. It's fine that you didn't read it. Later, Dev. Okay, well, thanks. Todd Sullivan sent a bird sticker for $5. Thank you. Jasso said, "Hey, Ruben, you out for some scuba?" I don't know what that was in reference to. Jasso for another $5 says, "Sometimes this is just how I feel, even when not high. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, well, yeah, the video of the fire guy. Yeah, that's right." The Alt Racer for $5. You missed 2 of my supers. I hope I'll find them. Crazy Loon for $5. My first thought would be I better not be legally liable for this Florida stupidity, and you better not catch my house or garden on fire. The problem with reading old supers is that I just don't know what they're in reference to, you know? Crazy Loon for $5. She got this BS from some book written by a crazy guy who actually believed the entire world was run by a group called the Russian Horde. Crazy Loon for $2. This woman also said Jesus means CL, it healer. Crazy Loon for $5. That ostrich is clearly a foreign volunteer vet. The Emu Wars. My guess is captain rank. Yeah, that was the video with the Chinese guys and the guard ostrich. For $2, Santa getting his CSL like a responsible person. That was Santa getting the gun, buying a gun. Breaking into random people's houses is dangerous, LOL. Of course Santa would want to carry a Glock. Haha. Crazy Loon. 2 in the pink, 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. That's for the woman with 2 vaginas, right? Wilson, the unauthorized something for $10. The Jaws theme. Oh yeah, this is for the fat shark. Jaws theme song. Beachgoers stream in terror and run out of the water. People are confused. Overweight shark pops out of the water, gasping for breath before sinking. Shaker Silver for $5. He was demanding the release of his sister, Lady Al Qaeda, who tried to kill U.S. servicemen, but totally not terror related. That's right. That was the guy who took over the synagogue, right? Long live the chair throwing rabbi. That's how they got out of that, isn't it? The chair throwing rabbi. Shit. I think the rest of them are lost. Like, they're not loading past this point. And in fact, as you give more super chats, they start scrolling away. Thanks for the $5, not Alpharius. I guess I lost some super chats from last week. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But I appreciate it, though. I do appreciate all the support. Okay. That is the stream for today. Thank you for being here. Make sure to follow the Twitch channel, Game Boomers, and also the YouTube gaming channel, Game Boomer. They are my side channel. Not politics related, but I do good work there. You're all obligated to watch it, so head over there, okay? Twitch.tv/GameBoomers, YouTube.com/GameBoomer. No Naomi this week, but we will do more stuff. I'll be on Arch's channel in about 3 hours to do Skaven. I'll see what I can do about the Minecraft server. And thanks for everything. Have a good day.